Hello everybody, welcome back to Perez Sports Network. I'm your head commentator, Nick the Rabbit with PSN. It's the Big Win Football Association on the Perez Sports Network, the best sports on the best network. Today we are going to be taking a look at the Indiana Demogorgons as they take on the Veevi Vikings. A battle of two mythical creatures, although one of them existed and one of them didn't, but that's beside the point. The Veevi Vikings taking on the Indiana Demogorgons. Indiana will be the home team in today's game. And let's head down to the field for the BWFA. Here it's primetime football on PSN. Well, the coin toss is won by the Demogorgons. If you don't know what a Demogorgon is, then be glad. It's creepy. Let's just say they look like flowers, except the face. Ken Love going to run this out to the far side, and he already coughs it up. Andy Aniston on the takeaway, and the Veevi Vikings get this one back in Indiana. Makes a big mistake here in this first quarter, and Walter Red with the catch as he'll get the first down and a little bit more. The Vikings trying to break into the red zone. Howard James with it to the near side. James, first down, a little bit more, spins out of it to the 5. Touchdown, Veevi Vikings. Howard James with a 24-yard run for the touchdown. And the Demogorgons starting off a little bit slow here. 7-0 through the first, not even the first 4 minutes of the game. Vikings will kick it away, and now the Demogorgons have a little bit more of an uphill battle heading into this rest of this game, which is very funny to say considering Indiana barely has any mountains. Jimmy Fisher to the far side, and that's going to bring up 1st and 10. Indiana in front of the home crowd here in Indianapolis. Here comes Howard Cruz. Is that what that was? And Jimmy Fisher, and on the reception, brings up 2nd and 3. The Veevi Vikings lost. I think they made it to the semis last season. Or no, they didn't make it to the semis. They made it to the... No, I think they bounced out of the semis last year. They didn't make it to the conference title game. But Eddie White spins out of it to the far side, tries to get to the first down marker, and he just barely gets stopped on the play. Vikings there with a crucial stop. It'll bring up 4th and inches. They'll go into punt formation. The punt is on its way. And back to return is Walter Red. He'll bring up a 7-yard return on the play. Vikings with their second offensive drive. Nate Hurst back to hand it off to Howard James. He'll weave his way through. James already has a touchdown on that 27-yard run for the touchdown in that first drive. He'll go for the first down here. Here comes Hurst. Drops back to pass. Howard James over the middle. He can do it all. Howard James, he can run, he can catch, probably do special teams, who knows. Nate Hurst, Howard James on a handoff, and he'll get his first loss of the day. 2 minutes to go in the first quarter. Vikings drops back to pass. Nate Hurst, and he is under heavy pressure, brought down for a 6-yard loss. 4th and 13 to come here in this play. Ron Long is going to boot this one away. Jimmy Fisher back to return, and he'll get gobbled up immediately before getting out of the Demogorgon red zone. 1st and 10. Eddie White with it on the near side. He'll spin out of one. He won't get out of the second. Very good pickup. And the Veevi Vikings lead 7-0 at the end of the first quarter. 2nd and 4, Indiana going to get us started here again. Cruz hands it off to Eddie White. He'll go up through the gut, and that is a first down for the Demogorgons. Well, I think their faces aren't the only ones opening up. That hole opened up there for the run. Eddie White on the run. He'll go for only 2 yards on the carry, though. Indiana trying to go for a pass this time. Cruz to the far side. Ken Love. 13-yard pickup as he gets to the 45. That'll bring up another Indiana first down. Howard Cruz back to drop, and it's going to be another fumble. David Schwartz picks it up. 25, far side 20, far side 15, 10, 5, gets stopped. Indiana with a touchdown-saving tackle, and Veevi Vikings will get this one back. Nate Hurst, I think that was, and how Howard James runs it in, his second rushing touchdown of the afternoon here in Indiana, or night. Nate Hurst with the hold. The kick is good. Hold was good, kick is good, and that is up and through. 14-0. Veevi Vikings on top, taking the trip from Denmark all the way up to Indianapolis. Here comes Ken Love with a return to the far side. Ooh, and Love is stopped. Indiana, I believe, is an expansion team. This is their first year of the BWFA. their first time ever on primetime as well. Harold Jacobs with it. He'll spin out of it. Gets to the 35, down to the 40, and he'll get stopped just short of the 40-yard line. A big gain on the play for the Demogorgons. 1st and 10. If they can keep moving the ball efficiently, I think their main thing has been the fumbles today. Eddie White with a big reception. He'll get 8 yards on the reception. 2nd and 2 is the play here. 14-0. Howard Cruz back to hand it off. Adam Bowden with his first carry, and his first carry could lead to a touchdown to the 25, 20, far side, 15, 10, 5, and he's stopped at about the 6 for a 46-yard carry for the Demogorgon first down. Back to throw, now to the near side, Harold Jacobs. He's going to get stopped just short of the goal line. 5 yards on the pickup. Cruz back to pass. This one's up and can't connect onto his receiver there. 3rd and goal coming up. 2-minute warning here in the first half. Cruz back to throw again. Looks to the middle and finds Jimmy Fisher for the touchdown. And Indiana will find the end zone for the first time. Hold is good. Kick is up and kick is good. And Indiana draws it within 1 score here. But the Vikings have had a potent offense so far today. I don't know if they'll be able to get a touchdown in this half. However, they should be getting the ball back to start the second. Walter Red finds a hole up to the far side. They have time for at least 1 or 2 more plays. If they run it, they're stupid. Hurst drops back to throw. He'll spin out of 1. He won't spin out of the second, though, and a timeout called for the Vikings. The Demogorgons starting to do a little bit better here on the defensive end of the ball. Alex Stoudemire, that one's up in a reception. 14-7 as we end the first half. Back underway here from Indianapolis as the Demogorgons kick it away. They received the ball to start the first half, and now it'll be Gary Howard. He'll switch directions, goes up to the far side, and he has a big hole. He's got blockers. He's got 2 coming up to him at the 50. He'll spin out of both tackles to the 40, 35, 30. Oh, he'll get stopped at about the 30-yard line. 50-yard return, the biggest one of the day. And the Vikings with fantastic field position. Here comes Nate Hurst. He'll look over the middle of that one. I don't know where that one was going. Hurst back to throw. Near side, Alex Stoudemire with his second reception. He'll get stopped right inside the red zone. Red zone alert for the Veevi Vikings. 12 minutes to go here. Here comes Nate Hurst. Near side, Alex Stoudemire back-to-back receptions for that number 40. 2nd and 7 coming up off the fresh reception. Nate Hurst looking over the near side. Walter Red, and he'll waltz right in. Touchdown, Veevi Vikings. The first receiving touchdown of the day for the Vikings. And it's Walter Red. Kick is up, and it is through for Nate Hurst on the hold. Don't know who that is on the kick because for some reason it didn't display it, but they're going to kick this one back up to the 20. Ken Love going to bring this one out of the backfield. Here comes Love. Now up to the 25-yard line, 7-yard return. 1st and 10, 2 in the backfield here for the Demogorgons. Cruz back to throw. He'll look over the middle, and that is not going to connect. Incomplete pass as he overthrows his receiver. 9:16 to go, 21-7, 2-touchdown game. Cruz hands it off to Eddie White. 1-yard loss on the play. Looks to pass. Howard Cruz has time, throws it, and doinks off the helmet of the defensive, on the back of the defensive back there. And that will force the Demogorgons to punt it away. Keith Malone is who that kicker is for Indiana, by the way. Walter Red on no return as it goes out of bounds. Good punt there by the punter there for Indiana. Howard James spins out of it in the backfield. 2-yard pickup as he'll advance up to the 30-yard line. In between the 31 and the 30. 2nd and 8. Nate Hurst drops back to the line. Now here comes Stoudemire. That one up to the 40-yard line. 10-yard pickup. That's enough for a Veevi Viking first down. Stoudemire was the key player in that last drive, getting them into that touchdown situation. Alex Stoudemire with another 4-yard reception. Hurst hands it off to James, and he's stopped immediately. Beautiful stop by the Indiana interior. Hurst back to throw again. Has it over to Alex Stoudemire, and he coughs it up. Logan Cheadle on the takeaway here for Indiana. Beautiful job there by Cheadle. Cruz back to throw. Over the middle and can't connect with his receiver. Number 11, I think, was the intended target on the play there. Back to throw again. Cruz. Over the near side, Ken Love. A lot of time, but he coughs it up. Darius Wright picks it up. He'll get to the 35. And not only did he potentially save a touchdown, he gets the ball back for Veevi Vikings. Nate Hurst near side to Howard James. James has plenty of blockers. He bounces to the outside, 6-yard pickup on the play, and that will bring it into the first quarter, or to the third quarter. Veevi Vikings on top of the Indiana Demogorgons, 21-7. Nate Hurst hands it off. Howard James up the gut, and he's got a lot of room there. 6-yard gain, first down, Veevi Vikings. Nate Hurst, far side. Howard Jones tries to bounce to the right. 3-yard loss on the carry. And I think the Vikings just need to take it slow, take care of the ball. They should be okay. Nate Hurst, Alex Stoudemire on the reception. Stoudemire's been the player of the game so far. He hasn't got any receiving touchdowns today, but he's got to be approaching that 100 receiving yard mark here today. Nate Hurst spins out of 2. Couldn't get out of the third, 4-yard loss. 4th and 8 coming up for the Vikings. Indiana still alive in this one, but they got to act now. They got to get a touchdown here, get the onside kick, and then score off that if they get the onside. Jimmy Fisher returns it out to the 15-yard line. 1st and 10 coming up here for the Demogorgons. This is going to be a pass. Or check that. No, it will not be. It'll be a handoff. Eddie White didn't get anything on that 2nd and 10. Cruz back to throw. Looks to the middle. And he has not been... I don't know if it's the receiver or if it's the quarterback in that scenario, but he threw that one way off to the right. Either the receiver didn't run his route properly or the quarterback just doesn't know where to throw as he does that back-to-back. Indiana going to go for it here on 4th down. Cruz back to throw. If he does not convert this, Ken Love, he got a huge catch to the 50, 45-40, down to the 35-30, down to the 25, and he'll get stopped 5 yards short of the red zone. A 60-yard reception for Ken Love. Love has been on top of it today. Howard Cruz, far side. He'll try it again to Love on the far side. Incomplete pass, 2nd and 10. That'll stop the clock at 5:09. Cruz back to drops back, finds Ken Love again, spins out of it, shakes another to a third. He spins his way in. Touchdown, Indiana. How did he do that, Ken Love? With a receiving touchdown. The kick is up, and it is good for the Demogorgons. And it's just like that. It's a one-score game. Onside kick. Can they pick it up? No, they will not. No, it's a fumble. Kick Malone picks it up. Spins out of it. Gets to midfield. He's stuck on a defender. He shakes him. Going to the 35, 30, 25, 20. Runs into his own teammate. 15, 10, 5. Goodbye. Touchdown, Indiana. How did he do that? A 65-yard fumble recovery. That is one of the greatest plays I have ever seen. And we are all tied up at 21. A big boot here. This could go in overtime. 2-minute warning. Walter Red moves to the far side, gets to the 15. He has stopped a double team there on the far side. And the Vikings with a potential choke of the century. 1:22 to go for Veevi Vikings. Howard James up the gut. Looks to go to the far side. And a timeout's been called. 52 seconds to go. Either team can win off of one single snap. Howard James spins out of it. Goes to the near side. Spins out of another. Gets up to midfield. He'll be stopped right in midfield. And that's the end of regulation. We're going into overtime. 21-21. Coin toss here, and Veevi Vikings will win the coin toss. They will elect to receive. The Indiana Demogorgons kick it away, and we are underway. First one to score will win this game. Gary Howard up to the far side. He'll retreat left side now up to the sideline. Stopped at the 15-yard line for about a 12-yard return, I think is what that said. Nate Hurst back to drops back to throw. Now over the middle to Gary Howard. 8-yard pickup. Clock will run. First one to score will win. Sudden death overtime. Nate Hurst. Howard James to the far side. And I think he ran a little too straight there to the outside. He'll only get 3rd and inches. Nate Hurst looks to throw over the middle. That one's caught. Gary Howard. 11-yard gain on the play. I can see why they requested this one to be commentated. This has been an instant classic. Nate Hurst to the far side. Gary Howard. And he's contained to the sideline. First down, Veevi Vikings. All they need to do is get into field goal range, and they have won this game. Nate Hurst to the near side. Walter Red spins out of it. Gets to the 30. It's fumbled. Logan Clooney, I think that was, got the return there. Cruz back to throw. He'll get over to the middle. Ken Love with the reception. All Indiana needs to do is get into field goal range. They have forced a ton of fumbles that have gotten them into this position to begin with. Eddie White, near side, he's stopped on a 2-yard loss. If they turn the ball over here, that will give Veevi Vikings a lot of time to get that field goal. And now Howard Cruz is contained, 3rd and 18. They got to get a big play to get the first down here. Shots back to throw. Cruz, he's sacked again. Beautiful defensive work there by the Vikings. Now, with how much time's on the clock, this could go one of two ways. It'll either be a tie, or Veevi Vikings could get into field goal range. Walter Red stopped beyond the 30. 1st and 10 coming up. 2:55 to go in overtime. Nate Hurst back to throw. Looks over the middle to Gary Howard. Spins out of it. He's got daylight. He'll get to the 45. 2-minute warning. Can he do it? Can he get to that 30-yard line? Howard James bounces to the outside. He'll get the tackle there. 2nd and 10 off a 0 gain. Timeout called by the Vikings. Only 2 timeouts in overtime. Here comes Howard James. He's got major blockers. Now to the 40. Spins out of it. Gets to the 30. He's got blockers. 25, 15, 10, 5. Goodbye. Veevi Vikings with a walk-off touchdown. Howard James for 44 yards. And the Veevi Vikings survive in overtime, 27-21. What a game that was. You are not going to see a better game than that. The Veevi Vikings pull it off. And no upset for the Demogorgons in this one. The Veevi Vikings survive. Once again, the final score in overtime. The Veevi Vikings 27, the Indiana Demogorgons 21. Thank you so much for tuning in here on Perez Sports Network. And we hope you enjoyed this, and we hope that you have a great rest of your night. Hopefully you had a good Super Bowl Sunday as well. Congratulations to the Seahawks for winning Super Bowl 60, by the way. And that being said, we're going to sign off here on Perez Sports Network, the best sports on the best network. Until next time, and you know there will be a next time, have a good one. Veevi Vikings pull off a win in an overtime thriller over the Indiana Demogorgons.